All right, guys, welcome back to the No Limits podcast. It's been a minute. I got my co-host with me, Maniba Ryan. I got
Yeah,
the daily usuals, Deep and Harshan, and I got a new homie with us, Yash. What's up, everyone? How you guys doing?
Doing
doing
great,
good,
man.
man.
Doing great.
Doing good,
Happy to
man.
be
Doing
back.
good.
Yeah, bro. There's so much to talk about because we haven't. I don't think we've done a Boys Only episode in like weeks now.
It's been a
Uh,
while, yeah.
the sports world is crazy. Just the internet world is crazy. Everything's crazy. And let's start off with what we've all been pretty invested in. I would say is the NBA playoffs. And the first round is done. We've got the first round out of the way. We're in the second round, and let's break down each series in the second round. And let's start off with the team that beat our beloved Toronto Raptors, and they are facing Miami Heat. So what do you guys think about that? Like, what's your predictions? How's it going?
I mean, honestly, it's going as I expected without Joel Embiid. No one's there to stop Bam in the paint, he has been absolutely insane this series. In the first game, I think he shot like 80%. Today, once again, the Heat slapped the 76ers, and this is what the Heat should be doing without their best player who adds in great depth and adds in great defensive presence. The Heat is doing exactly what they should be doing, dominating the games and winning at home.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think everybody kind of expected Miami to win this series. Like, even if Embiid was playing, like Miami's just the better team overall. They're just all clicking, man. Like Tyler Hero off the bench is legit destroying teams. The whole starting lineup is dirty. Like they're defensive monsters. The Sixers just can't compete with that. They don't have the same firepower as them.
What about
Yeah,
you,
no,
Yash?
like defensively, they're insane. Like if you have PJ Tucker, Bam, Kyle Lowry, Victor Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, like that's just like James Harden gets switched on to Bam, then Jimmy, then PJ, then Kyle, then Victor. Like he's not like can't expect him to get buckets and then beats out with a broken face. He's like they're gonna
Yeah,
win
it's
anyway.
broken.
Yeah,
Broken
like,
thumb.
I had anyways.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody that I talked to at least either had Miami in 4 or 5. Like Sixers just like nobody gave the Sixers a chance. I mean, it makes sense though. Miami's just the more complete team, first overall in the thing East. It just makes sense.
Were you guys surprised that the Raptors got 2 games on Sixers? Because Philly is a way better team on paper.
They are,
Not really.
but I'm not surprised. Like Toronto has been good like all season long. It's
Yeah.
just inconsistency. But then again, like the Sixers, they're just known to like always fall off in the playoffs. It's just how it goes. So no, it's not surprising at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's really surprising. Toronto's always been like a good, all around type of team. Even like the bench players are pretty good. They just have like really good role players.
And not even just that, but Toronto also won the regular season series as well. And even though the playoffs are definitely different, to see Toronto take 2 games, especially with Embiid having torn ligaments in his thumb, I'm not too surprised about that. Although I really wish they, they somehow pulled it through, but whatever's happened has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think considering the fact that Scotty was out for like a game too, right? And they dropped a game at home too. So honestly, if Embiid didn't hit that game winner and they won in overtime, I think the Raptors would have had a shot in Game 7. Just because
Mm.
like Pascal Siakam, the way he was playing that entire series was crazy. But what the Raptors needed, they need some like an inside presence. They need like a Rudy Gobert. They need a Hassan Whiteside, someone like that, to get boards, blocks, just to play defense in the Central Force, just so they can have that one person that can stop and be like when they had that championship run, they had Marc Gasol, right?
Yeah.
Marc
Yeah.
Gasol was a defensive stopper. They need someone like that in the paint, like a 7-footer, like monster that can keep up with them. Because yeah, you can have a bunch of 6'8", 6'5" wings, but when you go up against a 7'2", like 250, 280 pound, like fucking giant, like like there's only so much you can do, and especially the fact that him and Harden can draw like 15 fouls each is crazy.
Yeah,
So
honestly,
what about Milwaukee versus Boston? I think that's a series that's very entertaining and very like I don't know who's gonna win.
But they're
This
clamping up.
one's this one's
They're
interesting.
Yeah, they're
Like
clamping up Giannis heavy.
yeah, they
Like
are, but
he was one for 10 in the first half, I think, yesterday.
yeah, but then again, he went off in the second half. And the first
Yeah,
game, even though he got clamped, he did everything else perfectly, and they won.
that's
Like
I think
without
right now Giannis.
Middleton, It's
Giannis is
hard.
probably the best player in the world right now. Because he's doing that without Middleton, and Drew Holiday is still playing pretty decent.
I mean,
But
yeah,
again, they're just not as deep as Boston is,
I
and
wouldn't
Yeah,
say
Boston
that.
has so many better defenders too.
No, I wouldn't say they aren't as deep as Boston because like I've been watching a lot of Milwaukee games. They have a lot of good players. Grayson Allen stepped up. Wesley Matthews stepped up. Brooke Lopez has always been playing good. Like they can compete with them. It's just they lost
That's
Middleton, so it's tough. And
the
like,
thing is, like
yeah,
most of those guys are in the starting lineup though, right?
no, Grayson's off the bench. I'm pretty sure. Oh
So, like
wait,
if you
is
have one,
yeah,
considering the
yeah,
fact that Boston has like or they run 10 or 11 men deep.
yeah, they
If
do. But
Yeah,
then
and that's the thing. Like Giannis can't score 50 every single game. Like he can, but he's gonna get too tired. Like even in the regular season, he's never played more than 35 minutes a game. If you're going up against like Tatum and Jalen Brown and Marcus Smart, who all play like 40 minutes plus on the regular, like just the conditioning alone, like they can. I think they can just outlast the Bucks. I still have the Bucks in 7, but that's only if like Chris Middleton comes back, which I don't think he is because they said he's out for at least 2 weeks. I think.
I think he's out for the series. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably not going to play. But even then, the Bucks they have a really solid lineup. They're defensively they're amazing too. Yeah, they did get slapped up in the second game though, but that was like Boston playing like insane. And even then, Milwaukee kind of did make a push at the end, and then they just lost it. But yeah, that could go either way. I mean, they did, or the Celtics did sweep the Nets as well. So I think they are the scariest team by far right now. But then again, Milwaukee beat the Bulls by 20, 30, and 20 without Chris Middleton.
Yeah,
So like
that was-
that's insane as well.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the whole thing about not having Chris Middleton. Even though in the second game Boston did win, all that mattered was the fact that the Bucks took the first game. As long as they took one of those 2 games, being tied at 1-1 and going home, especially without Chris Middleton, who provides great depth, especially at the 3, and who also has a great defensive presence. With the Bucks taking at least one of those games, which they did the first game, that's all they really needed. Because now they're going back home, and now they have the home crowd.
Yeah, legit. I mean, if you're an away team going into like the other team's home, all you got to really do is just split 1-1. Like you don't have to go 2-0 up. Like legit, just split 1-1 in your away games and then take it at home. So that's what Milwaukee's done so far. Now they just got to win 2 at home, and then they're up 3-1 easy.
So who do you guys? What's your guys' final predictions for that series?
I'll say
Bucks in
Milwaukee. I'll say Milwaukee in 6. To be honest.
Okay.
I don't know. I give just consider the fact that if Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum are gonna have that one other game that they both go for like 30 each, that's why I'm giving them like 1. And I think there's one game where it's just like a defensive like slug out where Marcus Smart's just clamping up every single man on that court. And I think depends on how healthy Marcus Smart is too, right? Because I think he's injured.
Yeah, he is right now. I mean, I would like. I love to give the Celtics credit because they're a phenomenal team. It's just a lot of their players are inconsistent. Like I love Jalen Brown, but he's had his inconsistent moments a lot. I mean, he did play like amazing in game 2, but like he can easily just drop 10 the next game. It's happened a lot.
Yeah.
What about you?
I guess for my prediction, I would probably say only because Chris Middleton is out, I'm gonna say Celtics in 7. I think it will go the distance even without Chris Middleton because of the greater experience that the Bucks have. But I think the Celtics will take it in the end just because they have, in my opinion, greater depth. And right now, I think they're just playing. I think right now they're the best basketball team in the world, honestly, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And like, so moving on to the Suns versus the Dallas Mavericks. This is a very fun matchup. We got Booker versus Luka Doncic. Like, how's that series been for you guys? Like, what do you guys think of that?
I think that's the best series in the playoffs so far, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
agreed.
that's because of the star power that Luka like brings. Like he's gonna give you 40. He's gonna give you a 40-point triple double every night. But the main problem with them is they don't have enough defensive presence. Like who's really their main defender? Who's really their one defender that they have?
Jalen Brunson. That's probably their best defender.
Yeah, so like if Jalen Brunson, who's like barely 6 foot, is your best defender on the court, right? Dwight Powell, fresh off an injury, Reggie Bullock, inconsistent. Luka, not really a great defender. He's like he's like a
He's pretty
below
bad.
average, not like a horrible defender. He's like below average. Jalen Brunson's above average, and Finney Smith is, he's just big. He's not really like they don't have enough defense. Like they're the only way they win games is if they just like they just have to,
Outscore
obviously
'em.
they have to make more shots, but it's just like they just have to be the better offensive team. They
Yeah,
have to
I
make
mean,
they have to make their shots.
they got slapped first game, but like, what? I think Dinwiddie and Brunson played like horrible.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
no, I think
like Luca had
Dinwiddie
a
is really
45-point
overrated.
triple double and they lost. I'm pretty sure. Some shit like
I'm checking the score right now. He has 25 at the half,
Yeah,
who's
Yeah.
up right now?
and they're only up by
the Mavericks, they're up by 2, 60-58.
Yeah, it's a close game. Second game? But like the first one, then again, they did get slapped up. I mean, if they do take one and Phoenix is home though, like they should feel really confident going back. Because Jalen Brunson is your second best player. He's been having an awful series so far. Well, if they can still manage to get one, like that's like the biggest Dallas W they can get.
Yeah.
Legit.
'Cause I think they take both at home because Dallas has a really good home record.
They do, but like then again, like Phoenix is like legit so complete. Everybody's a shooter on that team. Everybody can get their own bucket. Defensively, they're amazing. I don't
It also
even know.
depends on how healthy Booker is too, right? Because
Booker's completely healthy. I've seen him play.
His first game back, I think it was 8 for 4, 8 for 20 or some shit.
Yeah, I mean that's not even that bad. For like it's
like,
it's hard for
40%
guards,
though,
It's hard for guards though. Like if that was a big man, yeah, sure.
And
And
I don't think they're running him at like as a shooting guard. I think they're running him at a small forward. I think they're playing Bridges. I think they're playing Bridges at shooting guard because I think I was looking at the lineup. I think they're running
depends on
Jalen
matchups.
So right now, Bridges is actually playing as a small forward.
Yeah. No, it depends on matchups. Like if Luka's in, they'll put Bridges on him. I don't know, like position switch, depending on who's in the lineup.
What game is going on right now? Like
the Suns and Mavericks.
Yeah.
Who's winning? You guys know?
The Mavericks are winning 60-58, and Luka is playing absolutely amazing. I mean, he has 24 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists on 9 of 14 shooting.
I don't want to hear no Luka slander though from anybody. Even if they get slapped, he's still a top 5 player in the league easily.
Yeah, no, easily. I think the thing is they have to limit their turnovers too, because right now they already have 7 turnovers in the half.
Oh yeah, I did want to say like I have as much as I want to believe in Dallas winning, their defense is fucking awful. They're by far the worst defensive team left in the playoffs. Like I don't know, like I'm pretty sure Phoenix shot like 57%. Like it was a high ass percentage halfway through the game.
Yeah, even right now, like Phoenix is 20 for 35.
Yeah, just like Dallas's defense is legit awful.
It's not great.
I think Yash brought this up, but it's as Yash said. The Mavericks don't really have that one guy who can anchor them defensively. They're lacking that person. While Phoenix, they could go to DeAndre Ayton, they could go to Chris Paul, who's a phenomenal two-way guard. They have those people on defense who they can rely on. But they
legit have Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, what, defensive player of the year candidate as well? Yeah, like they're insane defensively.
Honestly, a perfect trade for the Mavericks would be Robert Covington.
Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good trade.
But for who? I mean, if you, because I say you can I say you can trade either Reggie Bullock or trade Davis Bertans.
I'd rather get rid of Bertans.
Get rid of Bertans and give them a second round pick because Robert Covington's 34, so he doesn't have that much value. He's still a great defender. He can hit his shots. Like he went for 40 points in I think the second last game of the season. Like he can get a bucket if he needs to. He's a great defender, really good shooter. He's basically a budget Draymond. Like if you can't get Draymond, you go get him
without the playmaking.
Yeah, minus the playmaking. Even though I think his playmaking is pretty good. I think he's a career like 3 assists.
I wouldn't say it on the same level as, or even a budget.
No. Of course not on the same level. But like he's
not bad.
Still, for a power forward, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But so then, I honestly think that Devin Booker will lead the Suns to a victory in this series. I don't know about you guys.
I'm honestly, it's not even D-Book. It's like just the rest of the players stepping up. Like you already know you're gonna get 25 whatever from D-Book, but then like the second game, like even Crowder, I think he had 7 points in the first quarter or something like that. Like all these role players just step up for Phoenix, and like that's legit why they had the best record in the league.
And
D-Book's a
their rotation
superstar.
is
You just
crazy.
don't want to admit it, Harshan.
No, D-Book is a superstar. I think everybody knows that. But
Better than Donovan Mitchell, am I right?
Of
this year,
course.
yeah, for sure. But anything before, no, Donovan Mitchell is better.
All right, what about you guys, Deep and Yash? You guys, who do you guys
Thing
got?
is, like, they run so deep. Like I'm just looking at the rotation. Like they're starting five, and then they have Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, JaVale McGee, Cameron Johnson off the bench. So they run 10, 11. And the thing is, like everybody on that squad can shoot. Like they're all shooters.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
not, they're all shooters, and they all play defense. Like JaVale McGee is a really underrated defender. Like
Yeah,
for the amount of like
that was
he's
a
a
really
meme.
good pickup.
But like that's a, and they have Bismack Biyombo too. Like they need like someone just to grab boards. Like he's there.
So
Yeah,
you got Suns as well, Yash?
So yeah, but the thing is, I don't know. I just trust in Luka so much. I think honestly, if it goes to Game 7, I got Dallas in 7.
Wow. Okay. Let's get your thoughts, Deep.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna say I probably have like even though like I have a lot of trust in Luca too because I mean the guy's a top 5 player in the league, top 10 ever since he came to the league. But honestly, I have to give it to the Suns in 6. I think the Suns are just way too deep offensively and defensively. They have a great rotation, as Yash said, with people like JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo coming off the bench. I just think that honestly the Suns are too deep for the Mavericks, but I think the Mavericks will definitely give them good, will definitely give them competition in the games that the Suns do win. But I'd still think the Suns will take it in 6.
Okay. So the next series includes a team which I think will make it out the West, the Golden State Warriors, against a very, I would say, underrated Memphis Grizzlies, even though they are the second. Wait, what seed were they? The second seed, right?
Second. Yeah.
Yeah, in the
I feel like
West,
they're still very underrated though. Like a lot of people thought they'd lose to the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's just because the Timberwolves did match up against them pretty nicely. But in my opinion, this is like the best series, like by far.
This is your series.
Yeah, because I watched the first 2 games. They've both been insane. One ended on a buzzer beater miss, right? And then the
Mhm.
second one was close all the way through until Ja dropped, like what? I think it was like 13-14 in the fourth quarter or something insane like that.
I think he scored their last like 10 points or something like that. No.
Yeah, like I think
And
this
yeah.
is by far the best series. Yeah, like I think, yeah.
and Josh scored 47 in total in that game.
Yep. He outscored Clay and Curry combined.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
Ja Morant is disgusting. Like
He's
the
a
whole
superstar.
Grizzlies team is actually like amazing, and they're not even running Steven Adams because he's in COVID protocols, and even without that, it's a 1-1 series right now.
Because the thing is, like, even like if you saw in the regular season, John missed like 25 plus games. But in
And they
those
won.
25, they won 20 of those 25. Like they won 80%. Like they're just so
Yeah.
well rounded. It's crazy. Like
I mean, because you have players stepping up. You have Triple J stepping up, Desmond Bain, Clark. Like you have all these Milton, bro. Like they all just stepped up in the regular season.
I
and even in the
can't
playoffs.
tell you how many minutes Dylan Brooks has played, but and it doesn't even matter because the fact that they don't. Thing is, like if they miss one, if they're missing one guy, it doesn't affect them. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks kind of like in the start of game 2, of course, he got ejected for that hit. Everybody's seen that one. But
Yeah, that was
the problem is, right when Dylan Brooks got ejected, Curry started frying a bit because Dylan Brooks is the one guarding Curry. He's been doing a nice job on him. But they found a way to stop Curry. Like they kept him, in check. Of course, Curry's gonna do his Curry things, but they kept him in check even without Dylan Brooks.
Brandon Clark is a very underrated player.
Underrated player. Yep,
He's
I agree.
very underrated. Like the games where Jaren Jackson Jr. decided to go off for like 10 fouls, this man was going crazy. I think he dropped like 24 points like twice that series.
Yeah, no, Clark's amazing. He's actually a really good player off the bench.
And thing is, like they have their bench is basically consisted of budget version of their starters.
Yeah, I mean, like they all
Brandon
just
Clark is like a budget Jaren Jackson. Tyus Jones is a great, pass first point guard. Kyle Anderson's your Desmond Bain. He can shoot the ball.
slow mo.
DeAndre Melton is a great, he's also basically a Dylan Brooks, right? Like
Melton
they have some guys, and they're not even playing Steven Adams or Jarrett Culver.
Yeah, I know they're missing Adams. Like that's insane. Honestly, Grizzlies can steal this series so easily.
I think whoever wins, I have Memphis coming out of the West.
You have Memphis.
Yeah, I have Memphis coming out of the West.
Okay, I have Warriors. What about you, Harshawn?
Shit, this is so tricky. I mean, it depends who plays each other in the conference finals, but if I had to pick a team right now, I think I would stick with Memphis as well.
No. So you think Memphis is gonna beat Warriors this series?
I do, yeah. Because look, they should have won the first game as well. Like it was like John Morant has hit those game winners a couple times. It was a pretty easy one, I'd say, for him. And like the fact that he missed it, and then they won game 2, and they don't have Steven Adams, they didn't have Dylan Brooks. Yeah, of course the Warriors didn't have Gary Payton the second, but
He's
even
really
with
not that
that,
important to them as.
I mean, no, he's a good defender. Like he was guarding Ja first game, so like I won't like bash him too much. Like yeah, he probably would have guarded Ja, maybe kept him away from a few extra points. But yeah, I do think like Clay's been awful this series, right?
Oh yeah,
If Clay does not step up, the Grizzlies are gonna win this. No doubt in my mind.
I say like if Clay doesn't play like good for like the rest of the series, like I say they have to consider I think because just considering the fact that he's come off an Achilles and an ACL.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should think about bringing him off the bench for a bit.
I was about to say this. I think if Klay Thompson plays
they should keep Jordan Poole on the bench too. They should start Otto Porter or Jonathan Kuminga just because they need some extra defense. Because Klay is not as fast as he used to be. He's not as agile as he used to be, and you need some bench scoring. And Jordan Poole can give you that consistently.
Honestly, I think they should start Poole. Like next game, if Klay plays bad, I think you start Poole, play Klay off the bench. Klay can give you the bench scoring. You can still switch up lineups and everything. I think Poole, like starting off the game, Poole and Curry off the start is like amazing.
He's too small to be a forward though.
No, Poole plays the 2. Poole plays point or shooting guard.
He plays a guard, yeah.
Yeah, but then if they're gonna start Gary Payton too, right? Then Gary Payton.
No. Just play him on the bench. Why would you do that? Just play those 2 off the bench. Play Poole as the 2. Play Curry as the 1. Wiggins as the 3. Dre as the 4, and then Looney as the 5.
Looney as the 5?
Yeah.
I mean, they play for like 5 minutes a game.
Yeah, no, they kind of didn't play him much last game. No, but he's actually been getting a lot of minutes before that.
I guess, yeah.
So give your early finals predictions right now. I'm interested in
Grizzlies. Heat Grizzlies.
Heat Grizzlies.
Bucks Grizzlies.
Bucks Grizzlies. Okay, what about you, Deep?
Celtics Warriors.
Celtics Warriors. Okay.
Everybody's different.
Me and Deep are on the same. Manib, you have any predictions?
I don't even know. Milwaukee's the team I would probably say for the East, and then I'm not sure about Memphis and Golden State, but if Ja keeps it up, I feel like Memphis could make it out.
So Bucks Grizzlies.
Oh, I do want to say this one thing though. I think the winner of Celtics and Bucks is gonna win the finals. Like I just think the winner of that series wins everything.
Okay.
Finals,
He makes it for
Bucks and Celtics will win the championship.
Yeah, legit. So like I just think the Bucks are gonna win that series, so they're gonna win the championship. If Celtics win that series, they're gonna win the title.
Milwaukee
we all
wants that. Well, Giannis wants that title, so he's probably gonna work at it. He's been working at it, so.
Yeah, I mean that's the best player in the league. Even if they lose, he's still the best player in the league. I don't want to hear anybody saying Joel Embiid is better or something bullshit like that.
No.
Giannis is the best player in the league.
Giannis is too good.
The reason I got the Heat is because they just have so many defenders, and even remember like 2 years ago they stopped Giannis in the first round.
Yeah, but then last year they got swept.
But even they're even better this year.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I think the Heat or Celtics are the most well-balanced team. I'd say the Suns too. Yeah. I think those are the 3 most well-balanced teams.
Even the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's just Grizzlies sometimes, Ja, like, he doesn't, like, in the first round he did struggle, right? Like, I don't think he'll get that the same with the other 3 teams. I think they're the most well-balanced overall.
The problem with Ja is that he plays down to his opponents and he plays up to his opponents. Like, he played down to the Grizzlies level. If you kind of think about it, like,
I know what
you think of the Grizzlies, you think of the Timberwolves as an average team. He played average. Like, you think of the Warriors as like a super team. He played incredible. Like, he dropped 34 and 47.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, people are sleeping on the T-Wolves. They actually matched up really well against the Grizzlies. They should have won, to be honest. They had like 15, 10-point leads blown every other game. They should have easily won that series, to be honest.
Yo, guys, I have an idea. How about Elon Musk buys the NBA and makes the Bisla Basketball League players the champions?
Dang,
Yo,
I'm with you.
I'm with it.
So what do you? So speaking on that, what do you guys think about Elon buying Twitter? That was crazy.
Guy is just like he owns everything, bro. He's running the world, like straight up.
He's
You-
legit just doing what he wants to
Yeah,
do.
he's
It's
just
actually hilarious. And
living
he's
a
just
life
memeing
of a
about it.
dream.
I love how he just memes about it too. He'll buy it and then he'll just be throwing out all these memes. Like if you just look at his latest tweets, like the day he bought it, it's just him trolling. I gotta love the guy. You
He's
can't
just
hate
living
the guy.
life.
You can't hate him. Like he's
I
just
think
doing what he wants.
Yeah, if you look at the state of Twitter, like that, like, it's honestly a good thing that he bought it because, like, like I know Prob's on Twitter, I'm on Twitter, like Harshan's also on Twitter. Like, if you see Twitter, you're just like, like just like how sensitive it is now. It's just like you see every other thing is like a hidden tweet or
Yeah.
something censored. Like
Ratio. You
Yeah.
fell
Yeah.
off.
I mean, Twitter was dying for me. So like, hopefully, I mean, I think this will probably just bring it right back up. But yeah, Twitter
What
was
changes?
champ, to be honest.
What changes do you think Elon will make that will impact Twitter a lot?
take away Twitter NFTs.
I don't really see him making like huge changes to Twitter. I feel like he's just gonna put his own little twist on it, but it's not gonna be too significant. I
Yeah.
can't really say what changes he's gonna implement. But then again, it is Elon, so you don't know with him. He could
He's-
just go scrap the whole idea and just make it a whole different website, but you never know.
He's gonna have his fun with it for sure.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows that. He's gonna do
Yeah.
something.
He also can't change it too much because then like the main thing about Twitter is like you're just saying random bullshit. So if he changes it too much, like you gotta make sure you don't lose the appeal of the people that are on it too.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be too significant, but he's gonna
Yeah.
add his own little twist to it.
Yeah, like I think a main thing that people were hoping for is Donald Trump coming back to Twitter. I think Trump made his own website or something like that, or his own social media, right?
Mm.
I saw he shouted out the Nelk boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
think everybody misses Trump on Twitter. I think like there's legit like a good time where everybody would just hop on Twitter just to see Trump tweet.
That guy's
It was
funny
funny.
on
It was
Twitter.
funny as well.
But
Yeah,
on
go ahead.
the what is it called? The topic of like Elon on Twitter, like his second most, or I'm pretty sure it's Twitter's second most liked tweet with like 4.8 million likes. He said he's gonna buy Coca-Cola and put cocaine back in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, no,
god.
that tweet was hilarious.
What do
I
you
don't-
think of that?
I don't think he can legally do that.
No, I don't think he can either. But like, what do y'all think like about it though?
He can buy anything, bro. That's what I think. I think
Bro, he's completing side quests at this point, man. It's
Yeah.
not even like his actual life.
Yeah,
He's
he
completing
just
side
has
quests.
that type of money now. He just mess around, do whatever the fuck he wants now.
For sure.
He's moving like Logan Paul. Man's out here making his own drink company, joining the WWE.
Right.
He's completing side quests too.
Yeah, I saw him at WrestleMania. I was like, wait, what? Fighting Rey Mysterio? When did this happen?
Crazy world we live in.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Marshawn's next in the WrestleMania.
Oh
Main event.
shit.
Maybe we'll see.
Best versus
Nah,
Roman
nah.
Reigns.
But like, yo, guys. So what's going on with the NFL? Because I know it's a free agency season, or it's whatever it is. I'm not the biggest NFL guy, but I always like to catch up. What's going on with it?
I mean, yeah, like the draft was like a couple days ago actually. Though like probably the worst team in the league actually made some of the best pickups possible.
Yeah,
The New York Jets finally maybe gave their fans hope for once. They're
So-
not looking bad.
they
So like that's just surprising.
they picked like their 4 picks. Like I think their first round pick was like a cornerback, so it was like a defensive back, and he allowed 1 touchdown. On
Oh, yeah, he's insane.
3 seasons. And
He's legit insane.
so basically how it works, like he allowed a passer rating of 0. So like on a normal game, if you complete 0 passes, your passer rating is 39. Like that's the lowest, right? He had more interceptions than I think yards allowed and catches. So that brought the other team's passer rating down to 0.
That's legit. Like
So
how?
he didn't allow anything. Like he's locked down. That was their first pick, and then I think they got Garrett Wilson as well. So he was projected he's about the third best wide receiver in the entire class.
Yeah,
Then they picked
probably.
us. Then they picked another guy who's projected to go top 10 at the number 27th position, Jermaine Johnson, and I think their fourth pick was the best running back in the league that they got in the second round.
Legit, just W after W. Like, who would have
the
thought
thing
the
is,
Jets would actually make that many good picks?
Joe Douglas is a very underrated general manager.
No,
But
honestly,
it's
he's
the
not
Jets.
bad. It's just the franchise itself is awful.
And the AFC is just so stacked. Like I really don't see the Jets. I still see the Jets finishing last in the division.
Who knows, man? I mean,
Are the
the
Jets-
way
are the
the
Jets
way
better
last
than the
season went,
Dolphins?
anything can happen. To be honest, the way last season went. I mean, I don't think anybody else took like a major W in the draft, unless I'm forgetting.
The Ravens.
I mean, but they did lose. They lost
The
Hollywood
Ravens.
Brown.
The Ravens take a W every single draft though. Like,
Yeah, but they lost Hollywood Brown. So I mean, yeah, W and an L at the same time.
was he really that good though?
I mean, Lamar might leave because of that. So I'd say
Lamar's his own agent too. I think honestly, I think what I saw on Twitter is that they're planning on bringing in 2 or 3 veteran, proven wide receivers. I saw that they gave Julio Jones and OBJ and someone else.
Yeah. All I know is Lamar's not happy. And then
work.
some of the biggest draft L's, of course, being a Green Bay fan, you know, Green Bay takes another L. No wide receiver in the first round.
The Pats took a bigger L. They took a 3rd round prospect in the first round.
I don't know what the Pats are doing, to be honest. They're
I saw a thing like Bill Belichick has dementia again. I was like, God damn.
Pittsburgh Steelers got their, franchise quarterback. Who knows how he'll do?
I don't know. Thing is, like, I see him as like a your average. I see him as like a bottom 15 QB. I don't see him as a top 15 QB.
I mean, yeah, I don't think
they drafted another Mitchell Trubisky. Just
from what he looks like, nothing special.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I forgot a couple days ago though. The Saints did sign Honey Badger. That's like a fat W.
That's big. That's
the
big.
Saints are cracked. They might make a Super Bowl.
I don't know how they got the cap space for that though.
I don't know. I think he probably took a pay cut, low-key.
But they're in the negative. I think they're like negative 102 million in the cap last year.
Bro,
I don't know how they cleared up all that cap.
Saints have been fleasing for like so many years now. It's actually funny. But yeah, that was a fat W pickup. I mean, all these trades and pickups, like I can't even keep up. It's insane.
The Rams got better too. They picked up Allen Robinson. Like if you drop OBJ for Allen Robinson, that's a pickup.
Like how are the Rams getting better, bro? They legit just won.
I don't know where they're pulling out this cap room from.
They're insane.
Like,
I think this is by far the most insane offseason the NFL has ever seen. Like free agency, by far.
The NFL always has a crazy offseason. Like every year, it just gets you so excited to see. Like you don't get that excited.
I don't know if anything competes with this one. This one's been like insane, fucking insane. Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins. Like who would have expected that?
Did you see a thing? Ryan Tannehill says it's not my job to mentor Malik Willis.
Pretty much saying I don't want to lose my job to this rookie.
I mean, I think what they're planning on doing is having him as benching Malik Willis this first season and then cutting Ryan Tannehill next season because I think they saved 18 million in caps. They said.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. To be honest, give it one more shot at Ryan Tannehill. See how it goes. Probably not going to win.
I think they're just using him as a bridge QB.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the season to start.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm so excited. A few more.
When does the NFL season start?
I believe preseason starts in August.
Yeah, preseason starts mid-August, I think.
Yeah.
Mid-August for preseason, yeah. And then I think how many preseason games are there? I don't remember.
5. I think they're doing 5 preseason or 4 or 5.
5, yeah. It's a weekly thing, so 5 weeks. Yeah, so season starts halfway through or like late September.
Yeah, I think it's midway through September they start.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because I know training camp has started now. For rookies at least.
Be insane. I can't wait for the season. So hyped up. Hopefully,
the Saints got to steal in Chris Olave too. Like their wide receiver
making moves like so low key,
and all their moves are like Jameis Winston's gonna thrive with those moves because he got to sit a year behind Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. Last season, I don't know how people were saying he was playing bad. He had 15 touchdowns and only 2 picks.
He wasn't bad. Like I don't know. People
just like what?
No, I think the Saints are a legit Super Bowl team. Like if MT is fully healthy, they can.
Alvin Kamara isn't beating people in elevators. Then
Oh right, I forgot. Their running back is committing assault.
their little situation.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
there's no big deal. You know, he might play the season even though he committed
Deshaun
assault. That's
Watson
how
to
the
the
NFL
Browns.
is.
Deshaun Watson to the Browns.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Browns.
Bill
The
Watson.
Browns are not bad either. For
They're,
once,
they're I think they're the best team in the AFC.
no Bills.
They got Amari Cooper.
Bills still got to
Jarvis
be the best
Landry?
team. I'd put them behind the Bills. I mean,
Maybe.
this is the first time Cleveland sports fans have some hope ever since LeBron has left them. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, 7 years of suffering for this. Hopefully, it pays off them.
It better. I mean, they've been stuck with Baker Mayfield for 4 years.
Yeah, that sucks.
You saw Sam Darnold call himself a good QB.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he's
I
saying.
don't know what he's on. Seeing ghosts again.
All right, yo, Deep. Let's get into our special treat now. UFC 274. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said don't leave me out of the UFC. You know I'm in this.
And Harshawn, I'm sorry, but you're more of an NFL guy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I get it. Deep. But Deep, can you introduce the card for me and let's do our predictions.
So UFC 274, May 7th. Don't buy the pay-per-view, overpriced. But main event, Gaichi versus Oliveira. Featured bouts. Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chandler. And co-main event, Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza.
Let's go. Stacked card. I think it's card of the year.
Honestly, I think card of the year will be the June card. I think the June card is probably the most stacked with 4 potential main events. Well, 4 fights that can be main events.
We're not there yet, so let's talk about this right now. And Yash, Manib, I recommend you guys watch these fights. They're going to be really good because I know you guys aren't the biggest UFC fans.
Yeah.
But let's start off with Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira. As we've seen, Charles Oliveira has been on a tear. He's beaten Michael Chandler, and then he beat Dustin Poirier, 2 great competitors, and he's submitted both of them. He looks dangerous, but we know how dangerous Justin Gaethje is. Justin Gaethje isn't someone you just fuck around with, and I think it's gonna be a really good fight. I know Oliveira gets tagged a lot, as we saw in the Poirier fight. He gets dropped. I don't know. I think Justin Gaethje can drop him, maybe finish him, but then I can also see Oliveira tapping his ass out, and as he's done to other people. So it's a tough one, but for me, my final prediction, I'm gonna take the safer route. I'm gonna go Oliveira wins by submission. What about you guys?
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you too, Prep. I think Oliveira will win by submission, even though Gaethje has proven he has a great pedigree when it comes to wrestling and especially wrestling defense. But I think at the end of the day, he will be taken down just like how he was against Khabib. And seeing how Oliveira has proven that he's got a chin, shown in the Michael Chandler fight and in the Poirier fight where they couldn't finish him, they couldn't knock him out. Even though Gaethje does have more power than them, honestly, I could see Oliveira getting through it, tiring out Justin, and eventually getting the takedown and getting the submission. Even though Gaethje, the only way Gaethje is realistically going to win is by a knockout. Even honestly, if it goes to decision, I still see it being Oliveira. I think Gaethje will eventually be taken down, will be dominated by Oliveira on the ground, and will eventually be submitted by Oliveira.
Yeah, honestly, I see it the same way. Probably by submission, Oliveira. Gaethje's gonna have like a really hot start, like just how Chandler did against Oliveira. But even then, Oliveira recovered and somehow still won that fight. Like that was insane. But Justin Gaethje is a different beast compared to Michael Chandler. Of course, we've seen him fight. Gaethje did win. But like Oliveira, he's on like a 10. I don't know his win streak. It's something insane though. I think 10 or 11 or something like that. Yeah. Like I don't know if Gaethje's gonna be able to stop it. Even though he's like insane. I think he's probably the most entertaining fighter right now to watch in the UFC. But I don't see him stopping Charles Oliveira. I think he wins by submission as well.
I think for sure Gaethje is the most entertaining fighter in the UFC. He's the most fan-friendly fighter. You know, he doesn't like to go to the ground. He likes to stay on the feet and knock out people. But him not going to the ground, that's not good for him, because when someone does take him down like Habib, they're able to tap him out, and that's what Habib did, and that's what I think Oliveira is going to do to him too. I think he's going to take him down and tap him out. But I think it'll be a great fight, honestly. I think it'll be very enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Justin Gaethje fights, it's always just a phenomenal fight. So yeah, I can't wait for that one.
I have a question for the guys that don't watch UFC, for Manib and Yash.
Yeah.
What, as like, I would say casual fans, like, who would you guys rather see a champion who is dominant but submission dominant, wrestling dominant, usually is the more technical fighter, or do you want to see a champion who's ready to go to war at all times, or like who's ready to fucking bang, who's having entertaining fights?
Well, you
Or,
already
like,
answered your own question. Like,
okay, yeah.
yeah, like
no,
there's
yeah.
not submissions. Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, he's a good fighter, and you watch him, and you're like, yeah, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's good at what he's doing. But a guy who wants to, has that mentality, and you see him out there, and he's putting on a good show. Because at the end of the day, this is for entertainment, right? Entertainment purposes. Do people really want to go out there and just start fighting people? Like, this is for entertainment for others, and they're trying to get paid. And the guy who actually cares about it and cares about the people that's watching it, obviously, I'd much rather see that.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Charles Oliveira, he isn't the most entertaining in that division. Meanwhile, I mean, Justin Gaethje is my favorite lightweight, and I think he's by far the most entertaining lightweight. I think he's probably the fan favorite lightweight as well right now. Seeing him as champion would be insane. Like, all the fights you can think of with him as champion, like, they'd all just be phenomenal fights. So, like, I am pulling for him, but Oliveira's probably gonna win it.
Imagine seeing a Justin Gaethje versus Poirier too. Oh my god.
That's just gonna be scrap bang bang. I can't wait if that ever happens.
But another really entertaining, well, two entertaining fighters are going to clash. Two losers, might I add, Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson. And I'll start off with this one. I think this fight is gonna be another fucking war, like how all Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson fights are. These are two guys with big hearts. I think bigger than they should have, because they're just hurting themselves at this point. They just do not give up. Both are on some losing streaks right now, but we know how good they really are. But I think Tony Ferguson sadly is near the end of his career, as much as he probably doesn't want to admit it. And I think I got Michael Chandler. I got Michael Chandler by decision. I think this will be fight of the night. But yeah, that's my final prediction. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think Chandler's gonna win this fight too. And I don't want to say it, but this might actually be the end of Tony Ferguson. He's clearly not in his prime anymore. He's not the same fighter he used to be, even though everybody loves him. You got to know when it's time to finally put the gloves down. And I think if he loses this fight, which he most likely will, it's got to be time to put him down.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with what Arshan said. Even though they both are coming off losses, Tony's on a 3-fight losing streak, Michael Chandler's on a 2-fight losing streak. The difference has to be in the quality of their losses. In the loss against Justin Gaethje for Tony, I mean, he got beat up pretty bad. He did have that one moment where he did a leg sweep and got him down, or did an ankle pick and took him down, hit him with the uppercut and knocked him down. But those were realistically the only moments he had in that fight. And even then, he got stopped in the 5th round because he was getting beat up really bad. The one against Oliveira and Dariush, he got Russell dominated, taken down to the ground. Oliveira got a nasty armbar in on Tony, and he didn't tap out, which just goes to show Tony's heart. But honestly, like, he got dominated in his 3 losses, while Michael Chandler, even though he did lose against Oliveira and Gaichi, against Oliveira, he almost became champion. He almost finished Oliveira twice in the 1st round, and against Gaichi, he had fight of the year against Gaichi. So even though they both are coming off losing streaks, I think the quality of those losses, like, there's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, all of Tony's losses were bad. Like, I remember I was watching that Gaichi fight live, and it was tough to watch. Like I didn't even want to watch near the end because like everybody loves Tony, and just seeing him get destroyed like that, like everybody was hoping the fight gets stopped at this point. So I mean, Tony's clearly out of his prime. It's not looking good heading into this fight.
Yeah, and then we also have the champ, Doug Rose Namajunas versus Carl Esperanza. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not too aware of Carl Esperanza, but I've heard she's pretty good. I think maybe Deep might know more about her. How do you think that fight goes down?
I mean, honestly, in the past they did fight. This is a rematch. They fought
Hmm.
back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, and Carla Esparza did win. She's a great grappler. She has great wrestling abilities. She has great BJJ abilities, and she showed that in the fight against Rose, where she did take down Rose and submitted her. But that happened almost 8 years ago. Rose has clearly developed as a fighter. He clearly developed her mentality. She has, in my opinion, some really good grappling skills, some amazing footwork, some of the best footwork in the UFC, regardless of sex. Um, she has amazing striking. Even though Carla Esparza, she does have the stronger grappling. I think Rose has definitely learned from her mistakes and will be able to keep it standing, and she'll be able to get the finish.
Okay, okay, and moving on, staying in the combat sports realm, we got two huge announcements, and so Jake Paul is returning August 13th, and in the same month, the return of KSI, which is crazy if you really think about it. And before we get into that, I want to ask people that aren't really traditional boxing fans, like more more know about YouTube boxing. I think Yash is in that realm. I think Manib is in that realm.
Yeah.
Do you guys do you guys prefer YouTube boxing over actual boxing? Let's Yash. Let's start off with you. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I honestly I don't know that much about. I know like obviously the main like I know like Deontay Wilder, I know Tyson Fury, I know
Mhm. The
like
heavyweight.
I know his little brother Tommy Fury. But thing is like I don't really know the big name like not the other boxers. It's like the thing
Yeah.
with YouTube, it just I find it a lot more entertaining than regular boxing. Like not like regular like official boxing. It just it's just like if you like like especially like people like K, you grew like you've grown up watching them, so you're like okay, like you're invested and you're trying to see like oh yeah, it's gonna be like this is gonna be pretty good. Let me see what's going on. Like, let me see what they're beefing out. Let me see when this fight is like for like the KSI versus Joe Weller. That was crazy. Like I watched that. I watched it because I was like invested. You're your kid.
Hmm.
You're watching that stuff. You're like okay, my favorite YouTuber is boxing somebody. I want to see that, right? And
Yeah.
then obviously if you're like Logan Paul twice, you have 50 million total subscribers between the two, right? Like
Crazy.
you just like you want to watch just the amount of draw that it brings, like is crazy. Especially the thing like like people are hating on what Jake Paul's doing. Like obviously I don't like Jake Paul, but like what he's doing is like he's making a bag by boxing other entertainers. The big name fights, he's getting that, and he's making money out of it. So you
Hmm.
gotta respect.
Yep. What about you, Manib?
Yeah, I think Yash has a point in terms of the YouTube boxers. I feel like it's not just the actual fight, but it's what leads up to the fight and even after the fight, to be honest. So YouTubers are obviously content creators, and their whole profession is to create content, and obviously they know what they're doing, how to promote it. It's just the overall bigger thing to, and I feel like it's more attractive towards anyone. Like there's not a specific audience, it's just more attractive to anyone. But in terms of like normal boxing, uh me myself, I personally like when there's a lot of like drama going on, like the
Yeah.
fighters have actual beef. Like obviously one you know fight where the two are just going at it, talking the most, and it's just interesting to see who wins the fight and what the outcome is, like who gets humbled and who gets to talk shit in the end. And that's what I feel like YouTube boxing is really good at doing. But boxing normally they're pretty good at that as well, so yeah.
Yeah, so uh, one guy that's kind of getting outside of the YouTube boxing realm, I would say, is Jake Paul now, as he is technically fighting professional fighters, even if they're MMA guys. And he's actually announced his long-awaited return in August 13. And the rumored fight. So here are his list of opponents that he mentioned himself. He mentioned Michael Bisping. He mentioned Sony Williams from Australia. I think he mentioned Tommy Fury's name. I heard rumors of Luke Rockhold and fuck. I think those. Oh, I think Anderson Silva. I think those are the five names that were mentioned. And right now, it's rumored to be Tommy Fury. And I personally, I love that fight for Jake because Tommy Fury, he has that Fury name. He himself is not that popular. That's a fact. But seeing his last fight, Tommy Fury lands some very good combinations. He's fast with his hands. I think that's something not Jake hasn't fought yet. Jake hasn't fought someone that's landing clean, fast, what's it called? Combinations. But Tommy does get hit by that right hand a lot, and as we know, Jake's special move is that right hook, which knocks people out. That's why I think this fight at this point promotes itself. I think people just genuinely probably want to know who wins this, and the loser of this fight, like if Jake Paul loses, oh my God, he just lost to the first boxer he fought, the first quote unquote professional boxer. So it's over for him. Everyone's gonna call him a fraud. If Tommy Fury loses, this professional boxer that wants to make a career out of this just lost to a YouTuber. That's why I hope it's Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, and I'm excited for it. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Good job.
honestly, I really do not want to see Jake Paul versus Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping is what, probably like 50 now, or in his mid late 40s. The guy's really old. He hasn't fought in, I think the last time he fought was a UFC London card against Kelvin
Yes.
Gastelum, where he got beaten up pretty bad. Um, yeah, honestly, I don't want to see someone like Michael Bisping, who's way out of his prime, hasn't fought in years, face off against Jake Paul, who's been training consistently for. Is this year? I think this year is going to make it his fourth year now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't really want to see that. Honestly, the Tommy Fury one, I would actually want to see that. You know, the whole thing, that whole stigma around, even though Tommy Fury isn't the most credentialed professional boxer, at the end of the day, he is a professional boxer and he does carry the Fury name. Um, I think that fight will really show where Jake is at, and if Jake is somehow able to win, it will clear that entire stigma of Jake only being able to take on old retired fighters. So I would really want him to see him up against a prospect like Tommy Fury.
agreed. What about you, Harshawn?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the fight to make, to be honest. I don't want to see him fight, all these other retired UFC fighters like Luke Rockhold, Anderson Silva, Michael Bisping. It doesn't make sense for him to fight those guys, like Tommy Fury. That's the fight, that's been talked about for so long. And there's finally a chance for it to happen. Like, just, it's got to be the one, like you said before, if Jake Paul loses, yeah, first legit boxer he fights, he loses. Like, that's a big thing. Tommy Fury loses, like his whole career, it's just gonna be in shambles. Like, it's legit the perfect fight to make at the perfect time. That's just got to be the one.
Yeah, and then another person making his long-awaited return in 3 years, the man that beat Logan Paul, the Nightmare, KSI. Um, KSI returning is a huge deal. He just announced today the date. It's gonna be August 27. It's rumored to be in Manchester, and I'm excited. I'm excited, but and all of Twitter is excited. I see more people excited for KSI returning than when Jake Paul made his announcement. But one thing is, I I hope KSI's opponent is worthy. It's not it's not confirmed who it is, but the rumored bouts are Alex Wasabi, Dub Baby, and
What?
yeah, yeah. And Austin
baby.
McBroom, I guess, is a rumor, but that's most likely not going to happen because I think they already confirmed that's not going to happen. But if I could choose one, I wish it was Austin McBroom. I think the other two, fuck that. I think Austin McBroom will be a real challenge to KSI. But I'm excited, and hopefully this leads to KSI versus Jake Paul in 2023, the fight we all want to see.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't get the baby. I mean, I don't think we will because he caught some assault charges a couple or like last week. So like,
Yeah,
that happened with
the baby versus KSI would be kind of weird. I don't know. That doesn't
I
even
don't
sound.
think that's possible because
He's like 5'5". Like how does that even work? He's like 5'5".
No, KSI would like kill him in that ring.
Yeah,
I mean, he caught charges, so I doubt that happens. Whatever. So if it's Alex Wasabi, I mean, I don't want to see that either.
Like
I think
sure,
Wasabi gets clapped.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think Austin McBroom is the fight, bro. Like that's the one. That's like the perfect.
it's such a perfect
return fight.
Is
I mean,
Austin McBroom really that good though? Because like he beat Bryce Hall.
Yeah,
but he's technically really good. Like
and his footwork was nice and everything.
Very well.
To be fair, like when he did win that, everybody was saying he should fight KSI next, or like a lot of people were, at least from what I remember.
It makes sense. Honestly, I don't really want to see Jake versus KSI because I think Jake Paul is just so he's just gone clear, like.
Yeah, he's so much better.
I just want to see it for YouTube culture, man. I just want to see
for that. But like as a fight, I think JJ gets kicked. Like he's getting his ass kicked in that.
Yeah.
If they fought earlier, man, could have been a great fight.
If they fought right after the Deji fight, then I think like obviously KSI would have won that.
Or even right after when Jake fought Gibb.
Yeah, I think that would have been the closest.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think anything before KSI clears, anything after Jake Paul clears.
Yeah,
he should have fought him before he got all the tats, fam.
Yeah, for real.
Act, bro. He got tat. Forgot how to act.
Yeah, but honestly, I was gonna go back and talk about who KSI was gonna fight. I mean, the baby, like let's just say the charges get dropped or whatever soon. I don't think anyone wants to see the baby fight KSI. KSI slaps him pretty easily. Like I think
that's the funniest fight by far, though.
Like, it would be funny. It would really be funny to see the baby fight KSI.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw the baby like getting a sexual assault charge now too because he tried to kiss a fan who was like resisting him.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, like
I was like, bro, what are you doing?
There's no way the fight is gonna be planned for. Wait, when is he returning? You said August.
August 27th.
Yeah, there's no way, bro. There's no way that this fight gets set up with all these charges the baby has.
Okay, now that I heard about that, there's no way that's gonna happen.
Yeah, there's no.
Like, KSI versus Alex Wasabi. I mean, like honestly,
that's the most likely fight.
It is the most likely, but I don't think any of us here want to see that, or anybody would want to see that, because we all think KSI would win pretty easily because he has way too much experience, and the caliber of his opponents, aka Logan Paul, is far above whoever Alex Wasabi is fighting, aka Deji. So like, no one wants to see Alex Wasabi, even though that's the most likely
one. I think he's probably going to use this as a warm-up fight, though. Like he's going to take an easy fight just so he can get back into that. Like he's just going to get a warm-up fight just so he can like show like I can still box, and then he's going to go after like the Jakes or the the not the Jake Pauls, but like the Austin McBrooms. Yeah. Honestly, I look to see him fight Gibb.
No, but like imagine KSI loses.
Oh my lord!
God!
Like Alex Wasabi can say he beat both brothers as well. Like he's gonna have his clout up.
And Alex is like the nicest guy too. Like
he's the best YouTube boxer. Then he can see he's the best second YouTube boxer behind Jake Paul.
I lie. Oh, and he's advised by Jake Paul's promotion as well.
MVP?
So, yeah. So I think that fight's 100% gonna
I thought
happen.
it was a Showstar.
Pardon?
Well, I thought Jake was a Showstar or Showtime.
No. That was the promotion he fought for, but Jake has his own promotion, most valuable promotion. So it's called MVP Sports, and now they're advising Alex Wasabi. So I think that fight is for sure happening. They wouldn't be advising Alex if he wasn't gonna fight KSI. Let's be real.
I see Jake Paul versus JJ's old trainer Vidal. That would be that'd be a nice fight too, because I saw Vidal looks like he's an actual boxer. Like he's a professional boxer.
I think Vidal would fuck up Jake.
Yeah, he would beat up Jake. I mean, he's one of England's biggest prospects, right? so that they
Yeah,
can
yeah,
win pretty easily. It's not like Tommy Fury, who, I mean, even though he has an amateur background, it's not that strong, and even the opponents he's fought aren't that strong. Vidal is is actually like one of England's
Yeah.
top prospects, so I don't see
Jake-
Jake Paul standing a chance, to be honest.
Jake Paul versus Ryan Garcia. Let's do it.
Jake Paul versus Canelo. Yo, it's gonna happen one day.
Let's go.
Bro, just
Let's
give
do
it like
it.
10 years, man. Give it like 10 years. Maybe Canelo will get off his PED stakes. And
After Canelo fights Usman, right? Then it's gonna be Jake Paul.
we gotta see Canelo fight Usman, then we gotta see Ngannou fight Fury.
Oh, yeah, on the same card, yo. And just throw in some other boxers.
And then Jake can fight Connor on that card.
Yeah.
Might as well
Yo,
just-
he could take on
But-
Connor, Masvidal, and Nate Diaz all on the same card. How about that, yeah?
Yeah, Fraud
Yo,
Vidal and shit.
Throw Bisping
Diaz.
on the card too, fam. Throw Harshan on the card.
Put me on the card, yo. Put me up against anybody. Light work, yo. If me and Anthony Joshua can run it, yo. Let's go.
All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for all you guys coming on. Thank you, Manib, Deep, Harshan, and Yash. And I think we covered a lot, of course. And then every week there's something new happening, and we can always run this back. But I'm gonna say bye here, and we'll see you soon, guys. Peace out.
Later.
Later.
Later, guys.